Today is Saturday, August the 11th. Let me see what time. 12. I say it's 12:50. My name is Edward. Edward Pons. That's who I am. I am not anyone else. I can only be me. I don't believe in politics, even though there's politics. I don't believe in a lot of things that don't really make sense. The only thing I really believe in is what God told me I am. I don't trust this world, and it's not the world. It's actually the people in the world that can try to control the world. And I can say this. This is actually for my business, but my business is not really my business. It's what I can leave behind towards my sons, my grandkids that I haven't seen in a couple of years. Being able to go through um, storms, not storms of life, and not complaining, and not giving up, and being strong. That I can't tell you that I have what God given me strength that nobody can't touch. No human being. There's only one person that gives me what I need each and every moment of every breath that I take. And that's nobody but God. And I'm not here to teach you about religion. That's me. I'm talking about what I go through. I can't talk for no one else. I love my mama. I love my grandmother. Remember, I actually own a business. And it's really not about my business. It's about what I can do to pass down my business to people that actually can wake up and start picking up books and learning how to write and learning how to direct and learning how to control their thoughts on other people that you don't know. Don't ever have a judgmental opinion about people that you don't know about. Stay in your own lane, and then maybe you can at least drive your own ship or steer your own ship. Don't have opinion about if you haven't learned it. Don't say it. If you haven't learned anything, shut your mouth up. Everybody knows something, but everybody don't know anything. You got all these devices. Who's in control of who? Is it the device is in control of you, or the you in control of the device? It looks like the device is in control of you because you can't take your hands off it, and that's make you smart. Everybody ain't no doggone leaders. Everybody's a follower. Everybody's a little punk bit. You're scared of all the little bull. Oh, excuse my language. I'm not supposed to swear, but sometimes you can't help it. I don't want to use that word, but things are not always appear the way they are. Actually, you can't really have any kind of thing, but you got to learn about it. And I guarantee you, there's only one way to learn about anything. I mean, there's many books from many different authors. Actually, you learn from the best book, and then you work your way down. You actually get with the people that actually going to have your back, whether you have something or whether you don't. There's always something that can make a person great if you realize that you don't have to follow the world to be great. You don't even want to have that title. Who's great? There's only one great. And then on top of that, you're a product of someone that actually created you. Somebody that actually made you. If you got a mind to think, and if you think right, you can do right. But if you think wrong, wrong things gonna happen to you because there ain't nothing in between right and wrong. You can either be right, or I'm gonna actually find out about how wrong you really are. You can either stand up and talk what you think you know, but if you really don't know, you probably didn't study the word. If it ain't nothing coming good out your mouth, don't tell me about worldly bullcrap. Don't tell me anything that don't make sense if it doesn't help anyone else. If you can't help, if you're part of the problem, get out of my way. I don't have nothing to say towards something that don't make it sense to help everybody. So it ain't really about my business. It's about the legacy that I can pass behind. Because a business, whatever it stands for, it can last forever if it's used the right way. So I'm here at the University of Georgia library, which has many books, but some of them are so like I don't even know when the last time I seen somebody come over here and pick up a book and actually find out who actually wrote that book. And then you realize that everything that I really actually need is right here in this library. And yet it doesn't have to come from a device. It actually comes from let me find out who wrote this book. And then what year was it? Because it has so much resource, but yet nobody don't want to open up the main resource. They want to get quick fix, and they know everything. But ask them a simple question. Let me see. Who was the second president of the United States? What was this country actually? See, everything is misconstrued. Everything that really makes sense don't really make sense, because if I tell you a lie, you'll think it's a truth. If I tell you the truth, you got it all twisted around, because there's only good and there's bad. And there ain't nothing better than to have the word that actually I can put on the full armor and protect myself against lies, deception, fraud, deceit. Only thing you have to do is go to the men's bathroom. Some people don't even want to flush the toilet. Some people don't even want to, they think, just say we're in a controlled environment. And really, you either going to be controlled or you can stand on your own 2 feet. But standing on your own 2 feet, you might have to die for whatever you believe in, because you know you got a lot of people undercover, and yet they scared, they cowards, because you know everything bad sells. That goes from when you look at somebody and they wearing nothing, because usually there's followers of things that, if you look at there ain't no superstars. There's only one star, and I'm actually reading it. And yeah, you, whether you believe me or not, I don't worship no other God. There's only one. So if I hear a story about such and such, actually, like my mama used to say, it goes in one ear and out the other, because I don't want to hear junk. If it doesn't make sense, if you're not here to help others, you ain't got nothing to do with what I'm looking for. Because right down to the least, it's those who ain't got nothing. Because if you look at someone that ain't got nothing, something's wrong with you if you do got something. That's why, like Jesus said, won't you just give up your worldly possession and follow me? And the man got mad because he didn't want to give up his identity or lose his status. There ain't no status. There's too many different levels in this life, and everybody think because they're on a higher level. Actually, I'm in a higher education, and yet I can tell you this: being accepted at Harvard, I'm actually probably smarter than everybody in this damn library, but I don't give me the glory. I give God the glory, because he allowed me from every book that's in here. I'm not going to tell you I read them, but I guess I can say reading enough books. Well, these ain't books. I think reading actually creates writing in your mind, because I can be anything that anyone else. If I was created equal, I have my own ideas. I have my own vision, but my vision is not corrupt. My vision is not about money. My vision is not about selfish ambition, illicit gains. If I can't help someone else, what do I really stand for? I don't want anything that anyone else can't have, because I don't want it all by myself. I'm not greedy. I realize this. I'd rather not have anything than have everything in humans, if that makes sense. Because my money can run out, but I can never get another friend. What I mean by that, if it's a genuine friend, because you can't always think people who are for you is really for you. They could be against you, because there ain't nothing like the world we live in, where there's jealousy, hate, envy. Sometimes people don't put the time in. You either there's a result for how much time you put something in, or you're looking for a quick fix. What I mean by quick fix, you're willing to cheat, lie, steal to get your way to, even kill to get your way to the top. And what I mean by that, there's right. Look at everything around you, from the prison system, from the hospital. Well, anyway, if it's internal, let the doc. Really, I can say this: I think teachers, mentors, coaches, well, first of all, number one, moms and dad. I mean, well, really moms, because dad, like, well, my dad was with a Rolling Stone. Wherever he laid his hat, that was his home. And yet, I never really wanted to be like my dad, but sometimes you got to be careful what you ask for, because I went through a divorce, and that actually stopped me back for, like, I'm going to say it took me 18 years later to actually try to, it was like a fish swimming upstream. It was like a turtle that could never give it over the hill. It was like a roadblock that actually, I don't blame anybody. I thank God for all those roadblocks, because maybe my block would have been rolled if I would have thought I had everything. When I went after the world, I might have had things, but I didn't have me. The world can lose you in all this bullshit things. I can tell you this, it's better to have nothing and have somebody than to have everything and don't have nobody. I can tell you this, there's only one person that makes me feel the way I feel, And I tell you too, I could be the shortest guy in the world, and I can tell you I am. I'm short. But if you got God in you, I'm the biggest man on this motherfucking planet. I don't scare. I'm not scared. You can be 6'5", but if you ain't got no brain, if you don't love God, I don't give it. You can take your side because really, I like it like this. I would never ever fight in the street. If it ain't in the ring, that way, if we can't settle our differences with a fist or some gloves and in the ring, whether you knock me out or I knock you out, make common sense because I don't want to shoot you. I don't want to kill you. I don't want to stab you. I want to whoop your ass. You could be 6'5", but if you ain't got no heart, you ain't shit because your size don't matter. Let me tell you this. God matters. He say who I am, and I am who he said. That's why when I go to church, this Bible tells me everything I need. And I don't have the Bible, but I have God. But that doesn't make me better than anyone. You don't even have to, like to say, get caught up in religion. You can get caught up in just helping others. Because whether you have God or whether you don't, whether you have religion or not, if you don't not here to help others, what sense of you? Don't look for selfish gain. It's better to be unselfish, to love another when you ain't got nothing. Because if you learn how to love someone else, you actually learn how to love yourself. But first, learn how to love yourself. In order to love someone else, you better learn how to love yourself. And I think that comes from pain. It's not coming from easiness. Sometimes you got to go through a lot of pain. And you might not like it. But in due season, all that pain, I'm not saying it's going to be your gain. You can actually help yourself to help others. Because no matter what pain you go to, never give up. Never ever look down on yourself. Never ever let this world, like I ain't got no hair, but I don't want to join no hair club for men. You know, I don't want to be someone else. I don't want to be Ice Cube. I don't want to be Michael Jordan. I don't want to be LeBron James. I don't want to be anybody here in this America if it ain't God and he tells me who the hell I am. I don't want to look at just because I got Georgia, I should have E on this, if you can see, or take this Nike off because Nike ain't shit. It makes them $1 billion of the kids in the ghetto, and yet they might be giving a basketball show. Give them money and some land. So all those billions you've been collecting and stealing, because in this land, if you don't know, you probably ain't gonna know. You're gonna believe every fucking thing. Don't wear nobody else. Wear your own identity. Find out who the hell you are, because the world will tell you ain't nothing. You are something if you have some solid foundation within yourself. Because if you don't know yourself, somebody else gonna tell you who you are. And you might not have $1 in your pocket, and then you can be good, and then you can get caught up in this system, the system of destruction, the system of robbing, killing, stealing. You know what? You go back 100 years. I'm not here to teach you hate, but I can teach you about knowledge. Some things always has a history of repeating itself. And then it comes in a different form. It comes in technology. So a lot of people are getting left behind because they stop wanting to learn. It only takes 15 minutes of your time. From the time you get up, you have at least, just say, I say 15, so 15 minutes to get your mind right. Because if your mind ain't right, you'll never be right. You can study God's word for 15 minutes a day, and by the end of the year. But you don't have that, just what I say, you can't, it says, trust in the Lord. Lean not upon your own understanding, but by his every word. That's hard to do because we're in a world that says, I'm a champion. I'm me, 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 me. It's selfish. And it's amazing how a song says, you got me. It's the stuff of me, 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 me. I think it's about us because me don't mean anything without you. I am me. Yes, that's true. But I need you. So it's me and you and me, you and I, together. Together we can make it. Divided we'll fall. Look at the Cain and Abel. Look at Samson and Delilah. Look at like confusion. Anything that's confused, it's like a crack in the foundation. It's like a ship sinking. We have to learn to be able to come together, to be together. It's not about wealth. It's not about titles. You can keep your title. If you ain't having heart to help the next person, you can have all your education. You can have all your degrees. But if you don't learn to help someone that don't have it, What do you really stand for? Your own selfish gain? But it ain't for me to say. Only whatever goes on in the dark, it come out in the light. I'm a human being. I'm not here to voice nobody else's opinion or judgment towards another man because I'm not here to tell you about what things I don't know about. But I do know this. There's only one book that actually got me to so many different books. And there's only one source that can teach me many sources. It teaches me how to be like a, I almost said that word, but I'm not. I'm a human. It teaches me to have master, be like a, not a master, because I don't want to be a master, but I've learned to master a lot of different fields, whether it's reading, writing, whether it's trucking, whether it's fire department, whether it's EMT, whether it's, but I don't take no credit. I'm a human being. I don't know shit. I know do. I don't know how to toot. But I can tell you this. When I pick up a book and I read something that makes sense, and it's like the actually number one book in the world, it'll keep on selling. He said, my name will last. Or my, I mean, just say that's a powerful. His name will stand forever. We might be coming through and passing through. You think you're going to live forever? But let me just say this. It's better to live for others, even though we know you are who you are. But I gotta say this. If it's not about someone else, you have to. I didn't know what I know when I was young because the world taught me, especially competition, going after my own self. Win. I can say sometimes you gotta lose in order to win. It ain't about winning. It's how you learn a lesson. Sometimes you gotta go through struggle, a lot of struggle. And that's going to determine, are you going to complain about it? Are you going to accept the challenge? Are you going to feel sorry for yourself? Are you going to break down? Are you going to turn into a bitch? Are you going to worry? Are you going to have fear? You're gonna worry about you ain't got no clothes. You're gonna worry about you ain't got no money. You're gonna worry about the worldly shit. But you don't have to worry about anything when you pick up the number one source and really believe. And then on top of that, believe. Then on top of that, believe. Then on top of that, believe. Don't believe. Don't ever give up. Never, ever have a quit attitude. And this mind or anybody's mind, its limit is unpotential. As much as people going off to the moons and the stars or the planets or the moon, whatever I just said, I mean, actually they are in the sky, planes, your mind or your God in your mind can take you is from the around the world. I mean, from the depths for anywhere, whatever it is, because with him all things are possible. But never ever forget who taught you. Never forget the master, because the master is the best teacher of me, because I can't speak for no one else. Because you go through a storm, you go through some lot of painful time or anything, and that gonna really see how much of a man you really are. If you say you're a man, if you got a family, you got kids, I'd rather live outside, even if I didn't get, like a divorce. If my kids have a roof and clothes, I'm a man. Even though I can be short, I mean, but the back of my brain, the side of my brain, yeah, it's gonna be some doubts. But when I read his word, there ain't no better doubt that don't want to have than to have belief that I can make a lot of sacrifice. When you make a sacrifice and you have an effort and you have a vision and you have a goal, you don't stop. You keep going. I think this for all the different seasons, all the different, like a rainstorm, like a season of snow, or a season of cold, winter. When you think things are dead, but it's actually replenishes itself. And I can state that I'm thankful that I have time to love, to live, or live, love, and forgive, because it only takes time to learn. Because when you're young, you think you know it all, but you're gonna really haven't been battle tested. And you haven't been your mama and your daddy can't always save you. You're gonna have to break out in the real world. That paycheck, that being spoiled, you can almost see it in school where there's so many. I ain't gonna say privilege. Ain't nobody really privileged. They just maybe might have. Remember this: it's not really what you have; it's what you can give. Having something don't mean nothing if you can't give. You can have $1 and give 50 cents. You can have. I don't really believe in, like I said, with all. It's not for me to get into, religion. I think churches should give more than they should take, because I think sometimes you can keep preaching the same old word, but sometimes things get old. What I mean by getting old, why don't you give out a tenth to somebody that actually really need to be where you standing in your pulpit? So I could be wrong. Don't let the religion come at me. Yeah, God said. I can say God said give to others. Don't be like those Pharisees that, you should serve only one God. Don't ever think whoever you are, big or small, you're more bigger than God because you got billions on top of billions. You know who you are. Why don't you start giving to those who really don't have? It built your fortunes and fame, didn't it? Stop kidding yourselves. Why don't you? Yeah, you are a part of different charitable organizations, but go to those ghettos. Why don't you turn the projects around? Why don't you stop letting the government take care of those that you actually can pay? Never mind. Let me not get into, like I said, I don't want no shots because I don't want to get fired upon. So I can say this: with all those megas, I ain't gonna say stars. I ain't gonna say anything. Remember, there's only one thing. It's God. When you turn on that late night television show and they telling you to give, isn't it about time they start giving you? Do I have to pay for something? I thought everything's in life supposed to be. I ain't gonna say free, but if you know something, why don't you share? Why do I have to pay something? Is there a price, or did God tell you to pay? I don't even know. Let me see. Oh, a tithe. Don't get it twisted. If you got it, give it. Because your wealth can take a state or a city out of poverty. And look at it. If you're not here to help the people, the real people that's suffering, I'm not going to say, like I said, this is about my job. I'm supposed to be promoting my business. So let me not get into other businesses. This is for my real estate empire. Not really an empire yet. I'm actually, in my I ain't gonna say beginning stages. I actually been planning on this for since last November. So I got about like 1,000 hours of real estate. That's all I know. Eat, sleep, real estate. Buy, fix, flop, pip, pop, pip. Well, anyway, to make a long story short, everything that I read and I watched, I wrote notes. What I mean by that, anybody, you always got to keep your notes. There's always gurus or teachers, and there's always pupils. There's always masters, and like I like about Kung Fu, he always listened to his master because one day he became the master. And what I mean by this, listen, but listen careful because ain't no man better than another man. If he has the information, you can learn the information. Whatever he got, don't let him rob you or steal from you. Because any human being that got something would never ever charge you another. There ain't no price for knowledge to share. If you're a man or anybody that has wealth, I know all you millionaires out there, you're sitting on millions and you don't know what to do because you never learned how to be versatile. I got an idea, a plan, a business idea that probably can make you double what you already have. Because stay tuned for part two. And what I mean by part two, um, my really work is not my work can actually stretch from here to down that doggone hallway with I kid you not, based on a true story, my writing from God and all the plans and all the vision, let's just say from the bottom of this floor to the top of the ceiling, that's my ideas. And yet real estate, I say 1,000 hours, but actually I had friends when I was a firefighter. I was already in the game. So actually Greg Burton, he was a broker. I had opportunity, but I was following my God. I mean, following what God wanted me to do. Me not listening to someone else. I was great with what he gave me, bus driver, truck driver. I liked the feel because I didn't want to actually rip off people. I think real estate, because of people. If you think it's funny that people losing their houses every day, foreclosure, and those greed happy, fix up and flipper. I don't take that for granted. I don't want to get rich off of people's misery because they wasn't able to pay their mortgage. I'm not getting in it for that reason. I'm getting in it because I can actually make a difference to actually put those people, not those people that lost their, I can do those too, but to actually put people in homes and have better places of land so they can have a place to sleep at night. See, I don't want to get into that. You think buying wealth off of other people's misery, be careful which guru you listen to because they will teach you, but they really only teaching you. I'm going to say in the land of opportunity, I could be wrong. If we can't share, why do you want to be all the way up on a mountaintop and I'm having to climb up there? You taxing me. Didn't they do that in the beginning? I mean, like when God came here to straighten out the Jews and straighten out. Let me not get into religion because I can actually tell you a lot about religion, and I'm not going to go there because I'm glad I got pastors in my families. I got doctors. I got lawyers. I can actually fight my own battles, even when not with a dollar in my pocket. I really learned law. I'm actually, did I tell you I got accepted at Harvard? I can't wait to pay for my education because I believe in the mind is one of the most powerful things God can give us because I can't think for myself. I can only think. I can think for myself, but when I think for myself, I have to think correctly because don't want to be corrupt in my thinking to think I'm better than anyone else when I know I'm created. Yeah, they say we're not created equal, but everything is actually based on time. What do we do with our time? Do we put our time to use or do we just waste our time? Do we think we know what we really know? Did you really read a book or did you really write it down? Are your life a wasted time or is God like God is my writer, director. I mean, God is my producer. He's my writer, and He's directing my ship. If I should to go under my own understanding, I'm gonna never get it right because the world is not. See, it's not the world. It's the people in the world. They just say that's why Jesus came down here. See, there's God, there's Jesus. See, sometimes people get it twisted. There's God, the real God, but I don't want to get into religion. But there's only one God. He created heavens and earth, and then He sent His Son down here to straighten out the earth. And then on top of that, you see what He had to go through for trying to teach you what's right and what's wrong. And yet we still actually it's like Ecclesiastes. It's the time, it's a season. Everything's always repeating itself. One time it might be in a different era, season, and yet some always remain the same. Good and bad, right and wrong. There ain't nothing right and wrong. There's only something right and right. So if I'm wrong, um, I'm right. But I know I'm right because I don't choose to be wrong. Because wrong is wrong and right is right. You can't falsify the truth. I'm not here to deceive you or give you any kind of deception. I love my family, my mama, my hat goes off to you, my grandma. I love those people. I'm going back hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Whether they be, I'm not going to use the color barrier, whether they be, or whether they be. But anyway, I'm thankful for all the greats, whether they were or whether they were. So you get my meaning. There should not be color. There should be humans, great humans that actually helped me to be here 53 years. All my teachers, all my mentors, all my pastors, all those role models, all my teachers, or no, my parents first, because they are the teachers. They're like a tree. They're like the, when I come out, I don't know anything. I'm getting my whatever. I think my mama. I think no. Let me go with the tree. My great grandmother, my grandma on both sides. I'm a Barnes and Smith. I think my granddad on the Smith side. I think my granddad on the Barnes side. I think my great granddad. I think my ancestors for all the struggles that while I'm here today, all the hard work, all the commitment, all the loving, all the I won't go into hate because you want me to say something that I can't take back. I'm going to take this one back. I forgive all you people that did something wrong. Um, let's not go there because I'm not here for that. I'm thankful for the strength that my people had. If it's true or if it's false, but I can say this. There's a lot of house niggas still running around here today. And that's not for me to... Yeah, I said it. And I don't take back that. Some people are black, but they want to be... I already said that. But I'm not gonna say this one. I can say black, but I'm not gonna say this. You know why? Because if it wasn't for this, I would not be where I am today. Because this is messed up. And when I be I'm wearing black, but we don't own no damn bank. Well, I'm part of a black bank, and they don't even know who the heck I am. But that's all no problem. I'm probably smarter than the whole damn bank. You know why? Because it's not really about that. Back in the day, let's go back in time. You know what I'm saying? A long time ago, like thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. And yet, what do I have right here? It looked like a bridge or something like that. Whatever. But I'm talking about like this, like a pyramid, like a statue, like history, like oh wow, where's my book? Let me see. Hold up, one second. What this say? Let me bring this over here. Can you read? Oh wow, I think it says born in Africa. You see that? You know what I'm saying? This is like say it loud. Say it loud. I am black and I am proud. I'm black. I'm black. I'm black. I'm not African and black because I've never been to Africa. But I can say this: I'm happy for Africa and its distribution, not distribution, but for its beauty, its power, its history, its strength, and yet its people. I'm not talking about, maybe I'm talking about today's and present, but from history. Like, just say I don't even know. I can't put a number in my mind to think back in history on how much it is to be where I am this. Because I do not hide on how great this is. And then on top of that, hold up, excuse me. I'm sorry, excuse me. On how, when I say this, I mean this. Because without this, it won't be this. And out of all places, Africa, if it's anything that can do with this, and then I go to here, sometimes for me, you have to go deep and overextend what you think you know because I can never ever learn what I don't know. It'll take as well as if I have those books, this store, these books, this magazine, all these books can't replace all the time of so many great people. And yet, a lot of it's been destroyed. You know why? It's because there's something that people know, but it's the lost people that should know on how great anybody is. But it all starts from here, and then it works itself here. And then on top of being here, if it doesn't make a difference for like others, share. Just because you this, you don't have to be, oh, wow, excuse me, this. Just because you this, you don't have to be this. See, if I say the wrong word, I might get persecuted. I am going to get persecuted, but I'm willing to die. Well, anyway, I'm passing through here anyway, so I don't worry about something that I don't have control over. I think it's been a blessing to be here for 53 years and actually learn a lot as far as from parents, never blaming my mama, my grandma. I'm very thankful for my mother, my grandmother, my great grandmother, my granddad. And it's not for me to say the lives that they're in. I never hate or try to use that word for somebody that actually. Remember, my mama helped me, my grandmother helped me, and now it's time for me not only to help them, but to help others. It actually everything really starts in the home. Even sometimes you come from a home where there ain't might not be getting no loving. But everybody to me, whether you black, white, I said I'm not supposed to say that. You have greatness in you. Do not let this world corrupt you. Do not ever voice your opinion about the president, about just say I'm glad we have Donald Trump in action. I mean presidency, because it's not for me to judge him. I do know he's a great person. And we all have some issues. And it ain't for me to say about someone that I don't know. But I do know he's very brilliant. And you know what? What you don't know, you don't understand. You can't walk in his shoes. Whatever he say, don't be like, bashing him. I'm not running for office or anything. I can't judge anyone, whether it's religion, politics, baseball, football, people, rich, poor, in between. I can't voice something that I cannot really, you know, straighten out. I can shut my mouth and really enjoy on shutting my mouth because I don't want to create friction. I don't want to create division. I don't want to create um, just say I rather I do want to create, but I want to create something that's bigger than both of us or us that can be bigger than us. But anyway, my business, I'm thankful for fortune builders. I was gonna say Fortune 500, but he probably a billionaire. Dan Mueller, whatever. I went to a seminar. I'm here in Athens. I'm actually here on the second floor. I'm usually on the fifth floor overlooking the stadium. I can take you and see the stadium. That's a beautiful stadium, Stanford Stadium. If I'm showing that right, it's on sunny and cloudy, partly sunny, cloudy days. I like mirror. I'm actually studying anthropology, but I like the weather. I like meteorology. I like the sun. I like the stars. I like the moons. I like the green cobblers. I like the Flintstones. I like Abbott and Costello. I like the Three Stooges. I like life experiences. The Partridge Family. I like the Leave It to Beaver, the Waltons, the Genie. I Dream of Genie. I like wrestling. It doesn't matter. I like the Little Rascal. I said that. But anyway, that's Stanford Stadium. It's gonna be a football game here in about maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and they're gonna win. They're gonna win. They're gonna win. But I better say that because I'm not from here. If I say the wrong thing, they might kick my. Never mind. But anyway, I'm here at the University of Georgia, and they have. Let me just say, I'm gonna take my hat off to whether they be white, black students. See, you can actually learn from from people that actually put the time in. They make me better. I'm not better. I'm just old. I mean, 53. It doesn't really matter. When I come in here and I see so many black, I mean, just say people, young people that has a vision and that has a goal. And yet 4 years seem like a long time. Actually, if they plan like, just say they have a, 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 a blueprint and they have their plan, they can make a difference not only in their lives but many more lives that comes after them. School can only teach you so much, but You got to learn from the best, whether they're doctors, lawyers, psychiatrists, engineers, whatever the field or career. Anybody that became something, learn where we are at right now, and not to be on life. But back then they didn't have all the books, but they were smart. They were smarter than us. And yeah, that's true because if you go back, like I said, how the hell they build the pyramids? You don't know. Where they can make speculation, but we don't know. Don't speak up for something that you don't know. All you have to be is in awe. Be like, wow, look at that. And this was like thousands and thousands of years ago. You'd be like, wow, how the hell did they get all those bricks up there, all that concrete, whatever? Who the hell moved all that? I'm pretty sure it was blacks. You know why? Because I can tell you right now. Oh yeah, I better be careful. Go to the bathroom. Never mind, but that's another subject. I'm not here to teach hate. Some of my best friends, based on the true story, Irish, Italian. I was a firefighter, so you got to realize this. You can learn a lot from cultures. You can learn a lot. Like Asian, you got to sneak up and find out exactly what makes Asians so smart. Come to this library, I guarantee you, they putting 20, 12 hours in their studies, and then you wonder why they're so. I ain't gonna say smart, gifts that God gives, because nobody's really smart. There's only one smart person, that's God. We happen to be the product of His. He gave us thoughts, and with those thoughts, you never ever think. To me, I'm better because he gave me something that we all got different talents, gifts, and we have to learn. For whatever it took you to learn, why don't you try to actually help those that don't learn? Don't. I mean, just say give back because I'd rather be remembered for all the knowledge that I ever acquired. Give it to somebody that I can't handle the tremendous pressure, or when I die and no longer here, the claim that I did it all by myself. I thank God for all the strength, and I thank Him for all the wisdom. And then on top of that, being short and being bold, being like a tiger or a lion or any kind of ferocious, but I don't want to kill, I don't want to steal, I don't want to rob, I don't want to take, because I believe there's a power beyond what I have to go under my own strength. I can't bear the weight. And on top of that, I'm so happy for my great grandmother. She would have been 118 years old. Miss Mary Edwards. I'm thankful for my grandmother, Julia Barnes. I don't remember my grandmother on my dad's side, but she passed away in 2003, and she was a very see. I'm glad I had a balance, even though I didn't. My dad was like a Rolling Stone. I didn't have him in my life, but my mom's, whenever she used to sit me down here, I was able to go over on both sides of my family. And I'm saying, I didn't went off from my business standpoint, but if that's telling you anything about how a person that you don't even know can talk more about other things than his business, um, let me just say this: whatever you think, I don't have no any kind of thought to worry about what you think. I can only control. Well, not even worry. I can only control my own thought, and I'm never ever gonna let no man, anybody, belittle me or belittle whatever it is if they don't know about this person. Because I'm the greatest thing or person that God can create if I follow His ways. His ways is perfect. Man's ways are imperfect. There ain't nothing in between. We either going on our own understanding or we going on His understanding. He's always straight and I'm always narrow. Or I can never see, this is not really me. It is me, but it's like a thought that when it comes to me, I give Him the glory for being able to, sit the time, or let me read something out of the dictionary. That way, that it's not from me; it's from God. It says productivity, the ratio of output to input is an industrial contact. It usually refers to employees engaged in operations, labor productivity. Total productivity includes the input of capital also. Reason why I came to this section of the dictionary is actually the Cambridge Encyclopedia. And yet, reason why I came to that is because it says programming and language. What do I mean by that? On this page, you got probate, probation, probisic, monkey, process, just say productivity, I said that, profit, program, music. What about program people? There's different printing. Let me put my glass. Prison, no, yeah, prison. You see all these P's. It actually means something. I'm serious, based on a true story. I'm not gonna turn the page. Prison, probate, probation. Let's say every word has a meaning, but you got to find out who wrote it, and you got to find out what was his philosophy and what was his thinking. Was it his thinking or was it God thinking? Because you can either give the credit to God or you try to become God. Anthropology. Remember this. What is anthropology? It's a geological racist. You know what I mean? They have anthropologists. There's a physical anthropology, and there's the Armenians. See, these are the Africans and Negroes. Let's see, the Polynesians, the Malaysians, the Micronesian, the Australian, the Adiac, the Cascade. See, look at that Cascade. Oh, they don't put Caucasian, huh? Who wrote this? Who did this? Let's find out who was this writer. And then we can find out a lot about the Guinness books of the stupid. I really want to say stupid because, some things were written for certain people and some things wasn't written for other people. But yet, let me tell you this. Other people, actually, it was a lot of ideas stolen. But I better be careful. So I apologize. But learn for yourself. Learn the true meaning of being great. Greatness doesn't come from within outside. It comes from inside and willing to go through different stages and different changes. And yet he'll lead you to better still I can say still waters. Like with Lionel Richie record coming on right now. I didn't program that, that actually came on. Listen to what the lyrics are. That's Lionel Richie. Listen to the lyrics. And dream my dream. He's dreaming his dream because he wrote it, produced it. Lionel Richie. I'm thankful for Smokey Robinson. I'm smoking for all those voices behind the song because he lasted and Commodores just was actually remember this. If you never learn anything, learn to write and learn to write and learn how to put God as the writer and the producer. Tell him everything that you think you're lacking. And I guarantee you, he'll give you everything that you thought you was lacking. And he can make you great. But don't become great. Become great by helping others. Don't become great to think you great. Because you really have to really think greatness can only come from leaving something behind that would never ever um, vanish. Like Jesus. Like his name is 2,500 years later, or God, the God of, like, when you talk about whoever it is, you want to leave a legacy behind because not about me. It's what I can do, what I've learned for generations to come after me, my grandkids, not just my kids, other kids too, because I never had a dad. But I'm not giving you a sorrow. I think sometimes not having something actually makes you want to be something. Excuse me for pulling. You're not supposed to be disappropriate. I'm glad that's not on camera. I mean, it is on camera, but I'm glad you ain't seeing down below. But excuse me, I'm sorry. I got shorts on. And I got like a UGA, and it's just slippery. Sorry. Um, I'm thankful for all my uncles, the ones that are here and the ones that are no longer here. I'm thankful for my black teachers, white teachers, black and white. Here I go again. I'm not supposed to do that. I'm sorry. It's just I say sometimes habits are hard to break. I think if we can start when on the application putting ethnicity or black, white, I think when it's a human, even if they're not from here, don't ever like the Mexican. No, they're people. I love. I'm not gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. Go out there on a hot day and see who's working right now. If it wasn't for them, I think every nice building here, the UGA. I mean, not just them, but I don't see a certain. I see people giving orders, but I see people working. They are some wonderful people. I think I'm not like I said. I don't like to use um, whether it's people as far as I'm gonna just say humans, and they're from MEXICO. That's better. I'll just spell it out for you, and I hope you can understand even if I make a mistake in my when I spell it out, I can't. Like I said, I'm a human. I make mistakes, so I'm gonna say MEXICO, and they some wonderful PEOPLE, and I love each and every last LASTN. I mean ONE from wherever they might be to the R. I'm not gonna say from the POORER to the RICHES because even if they POOR, to me they are RICHES. No matter where they are, from where I can say this. I'm glad that I know some of the nicest people that I can ever want to meet. Some of them, a lot of them work here in the UGA. Just go, and to me, I say this: when I see anyone that's actually doing the work, that has more meaning than anything that actually somebody sitting at their desk. Because I see um, strength, and I see mostly women. But other than that, my mama, my grandmother, my women are some of the most not in a way that I can say that discriminate because without my mother, I'm not going to put a woman degrade. I'm not going to degrade nobody, women, mother, children, any even if they 13, 14, 15, 16, anything, 20, 30, 40, 50, respect. Don't, like, my age range is 45 to 60, so I know what I want. But I don't want no baby. I don't want no kids. I don't want no grandkids. I don't want nothing that's ain't gonna help me. I know my time was back then. If you wasn't like, in the 80s or 90s, other than that, I'm not looking for 20s and 90s or 2016 or however you want to say 18, 17. No, those my grandkids. So I'm here to be the original legend. What I mean by legend, some people are not passing down knowledge, understanding, wisdom, respect, put some blinders on, cover up, don't show things that people say, whoa, shit, what she got on? Whatever people put on, let them be free. We live in a, don't keep your eyes on the road. That's what I'm trying to say. Or, put some blinders on. It doesn't really matter. Respect women, respect children, you respect teenagers, you respect young kids. Never manipulate none of them because that's somebody's daughter. They're here to learn. And that should be their number one focus, to learn and not get all. Some of them gonna make it, some of them ain't gonna make it. But I see the beginning stages because they got it's August the 11th. Tomorrow's the 12th. I think school starts the 13th. And now freshmen are coming in here with visions and dreams and high hopes. But for all the maybe 100% that starts, maybe I hope here 96, 99. No, well, hopefully 99 will start and finish the race. Life is like a race that never stops, never no finish line. It's always new, and it's always, something that might get old. You always got to withstand different stages. Whatever was going on back in the 80s is definitely not going on in 2018. But the 80s, even the 90s, even the 70s can teach you on how to survive here in the new millennium, because it's better to have something that's old than to have something that's new. And what I mean by that, even when I turn this on, it says African American. Look at that, African American. And I just opened up the book, history. Look at that, isn't that something? You pick up a book, that wasn't planned. I picked up a book and it says what? African American history. And I didn't even have that book there for that reason. But what I'm trying to say, it's good to be loving, full of life, a no quit attitude. I'm never going to give up. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to worry. Well, worry is just, to me, is what, like, everybody's so much, because you listen to the news and all that other stuff, so much fear, thunderstorm. Oh, wow, complain about the weather. It's sunny, it's hot, it's too cold, it's all. Stop complaining. Everything has its perfect reason for everything on this planet. Whether it's rain, whether it's what I just said, God don't make no mistakes. So let it be what it is. It's not what it is, what it's supposed to be, but let it be what it is and stop complaining. I think whatever it is, if you haven't really planned, maybe you should stop talking and start writing, right? And ask God to give you the wisdom, the belief, the vision. And what I mean by the vision, that I'm not going to let this world stop me from making a mark on a legacy that can last when I'm no longer here, for generations. It's going to have a statue. I mean, not like a sports statue or anything. I'm just saying, maybe it not, maybe it was, but in my mind, I can leave. I have a chance at 53 to leave a mark that God given me that can't ever be touched by no man, because no man is greater than one man, or I don't even one God, excuse me. And like I said, when I say God, because when you grow up in a household where they say they instill religion on you, and I go to church, I'm Holy Ghost, you get like all kinds of different things that you have to go through as a kid. Why I gotta go to church? Why I gotta go this? Why I gotta do that? I want to go outside and play. But I think what I say with my mama and grandma, at least they gave me the keys to the Bentley. What I mean by the keys to the Bentley, it's bigger than the Bentley. That's God. And what I mean by God, it doesn't have to be things. He gave me life, longevity. And no matter what happened, like the Boston Fire Department, hold up, I'll shut my mouth. I'm glad things worked out the way they worked out, because I stood for what I stood for. And I know this. I didn't understand all the tricks, lies. I did know this. There ain't nothing like the truth. Sometimes when you do the truth, it's like you're being persecuted. But yet, God don't make no mistakes. I'm not here. I don't want to fight nobody. But He makes you stronger, and you're able to bear any attack. Like with Gideon, God told him to lower his army or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? And yet he had doubts. But yet the guy was able to overcome odds. So like, what's my hold up? And it's based on hold up. It was like like I said, when the odds are against you, it's actually Judges 7:1-8. The story of Gideon offers a scriptural guidance for times when the odds are overwhelming and defeat seems imminent. No matter what your challenges are, the Lord is able to distribute demonstrate his awesome power and deliver you. God uses difficulty to build faith. Gideon was willing to believe God and go up against an army 4 times larger than his own. Treating the Lord is a process that must be learned through experience. At times, God takes the people he plans to use and places them in an impossible situation. They'd be like, damn, my car broke down. I got arrested. My identity got taken. I've been in. Just say, who cares? That's between God and I, because some people just open up their mouth to too many people. If nobody can help out, don't talk about it. Only one person can actually help you, if you believe. Well, anyway, let me read the story. God was willing to believe. I mean, Gideon was willing to believe God and go up against an army 4 times larger than his own. Trusting the Lord. Remember, I'm promoting my business, but if you know I know other business, which is the most important business, my actually goal, because I'm already a millionaire, I'm actually a billionaire. Yeah, based on a true story. Because I know so much about numbers. Um, check this out. Yeah, I'm promoting myself. That's how great God is. I'm not promoting me. I'm promoting God, because I think me, I'm nothing. I am something, but I'm promoting God and his amazing power, his amazing strength, his amazing gifts, his amazing understanding, his amazing peace, his amazing love, his amazing strength, because I can't have that in myself. I'm thankful for all the valleys, all the peaks, all in the valley. And I'm like a doggone, what's that? A salmon, a fish swimming upstream. I don't know the odds. The odds are against me. Well, anyway, trusting the Lord is a process that must be learned through experience. At times, God takes the people he loves, he plans to use, and places them in an impossible situation. In that way, they discover his faithful. Because I can say this, I'd rather trust somebody that I don't know, well, I haven't met, but I know his word have lasted since the beginning of time, than the people that I do know. That's how much I'm willing to believe. I was going to slam it on the ground, but I treasure this. Well, not just this, the Bible. And I treasure just not just one, like, I study different Bibles. Different, the Quran, the regular American Bible, the NIV, the James. That's what time will give you. Time can actually create greatness when you're going through difficulty and impossible. Like, it's like, damn, I gotta make it. It's a long way. I don't know how I'm gonna make it. See, doubts. But then I say, check this out, mama. I'm gonna make it. No matter what people do to me, who steals, who takes, who scams me, I'm gonna get right back up and I'm gonna do it the best way I know how to do it. And that's through God. And I'm gonna make it. No matter what. I might not live forever, which I know I'm not. Excuse me, that's a stupid statement there. I know I'm not going to live forever. But for 53 and 18 years of, I almost going to say hell, but it's never can say hell, because I'm not, like I said, I'm not dead. So, but I do know all those great people that are no longer here. Um, Sometimes that's why they say when they bury them, they're actually getting rest from all this hell that a person have to deal with in reality, not something from a movie, based on a true story. Um, but yet, don't let this. We could be in the world, but we don't have to take part of this junk, filth, deception, competition, um, betrayal, colors, barriers, rule, levels, titles. I think the Indians should have titles like president, vice president. You know why? Because actually, this is their place anyway. So if you not those Indians that own all these stores, I'm talking about the original that's in these doggone um when I when I went to Oklahoma, reservations. Did you know they still got reservations here in America? People actually, I met a lot of, say like, with all this new technology, you realize that they're still catching a lot of, especially up in Alaska. Let me turn this junk off. Somebody always wants you to buy something. Gurus, how the hell they get on my YouTube? If anybody come on my YouTube, it should be some black people. Sell me your product. Stop trying to sell me stuff that I'm actually trying to sell you stuff. I mean, excuse me, not stuff. My ideas actually outnumber any of your ideas because I'm not here to get rich on the ideas that God gave me. I'm actually here to actually show you that I can be rich and give more than what I actually need for myself. I don't need no house. I don't need no car. I don't need anything to be something that'll last when I'm no longer here. But anyway, part one, part two, part three, to be continued. 1 hour, that's all it took. Anyway, I don't mean no harm by what comes out of my mouth toward any race or people. Black, white, green, Jewish, Mexican, um, Asian. Like I said, I don't like to use words that really, to me, doesn't have meaning. I'm going to say human beings. Human beings. Forget about whatever it is that they was training me to think. I know we all created in godly image. And so whatever we are, I try to concentrate on color. Not to say color, but universe. Universal. When I'm calling anybody, you don't know who I'm talking about, I'll say universal. And that way I don't have to give you what the world say you are. Because to me, everything should be universal. No race is greater than any other race. That's why I say universal. Because together we stand, divided we fall. And then on top of that, I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to shut my mouth. Everybody should have, like, there'd be an Indian president, a black president, a white president, an Asian president. I'm talking about here in America. And that way, at least you get a fair shot. Because I'm not getting I'm not getting all the benefit that goes with, like I say, when you have to go through. Oh wow, I think I lost a piece of paper. When you have to go through this, there's a lot of mountains you have to travel, and I don't always want to go through this. Remember, I say universe, so that way I don't have to tell you about this. So if I'm inappropriately, I apologize. But I do not apologize to this. Because without this, remember this, I'm universal. I look at all the books. I respect those that was here before those that are here now. If that have any meaning, because I'm looking at greatness. From here, if you can see all the way down this aisle of different people, when all this other junk, where you can see me now, you can see me now, you can see me now, with all these gadgets that people are actually losing their mind. And yet, they actually are losing their mind because you ask them a simple question. They don't even, like, but it's not for me to, like I said, I don't want to step on nobody's toes. But I do say, I have to love those who don't love themselves. Stop making these gadgets more of your time and use your time wisely and explore you. I'm not saying you can't do it because it's good to communicate, but when you communicate with people all over the world that actually those who don't have nothing, like in third world country, and actually, won't you give your computer to people in third world countries so they can, like I said, don't give it for deception. Don't lose religion to go somewhere and actually take over. Give because you really want to give. Don't give to take for you in the longer run. Don't do someone a favor when they was better off before you even tried to give them a favor. Don't think you're doing anybody a favor if you're looking to try to get something out of it. I don't give a shit where you go. If you're not going there in God's name, really true, and not going in your own name, if you're really there to help, you'll stay out of their affairs and let them do it themselves. Help them so they can help themselves. Get your ass out once you help them. That's their land. Don't keep going over all these places and planting yourself in their land. Because Africa would be with all its gold. How the hell, or diamond? How the hell somewhere that if hold on, what this say? How the hell someone else own stakes in a place that they ain't even from? But that's another subject. Let me get out of here because I ain't got no 2 hours special. But actually, my story is like 52. How many? If it's 52 years, I don't remember 1 to 5. But my life is like a book that actually can stretch from this row all the way, not down to the. Well, actually, I can write. I think my writing reached from this row all the way down there anyway. So I can put all my work, and it'll fill this whole. It'll fill this whole. Let's just say it's a long way down there, and all my writing can actually fill this whole doggone, not the library, but this aisle from down there all the way to the exit sign to probably right here. My writing, or excuse me, God's writing. I don't take no credit for His greatness. I'm not. What I say? Well, He makes me great, but I'm not great. I consider myself average. He consider myself. Wow. I can look out up in the sky and see His um, greatness for me. So it's not about me. It's about like Noah Edward Bonds, Brandon Edward Bonds, Xavier Bonds, um, Lenore, her kids, um, my mama, my grandma. Let me just see. I keep saying just say the list goes on. Homeless, um, mothers and kids, nursing homes, hospitals. Let me see, donation to charitable organization that's really going to get the money and help them out. If money solves it, sometimes money don't do nothing but solve corruption or create more problems. Sometimes I'm not gonna say go use God. Some places are already, like I said, don't look at people primitive. If they've been here before you and they still living or whatever, making it, leave them alone. I know we think this is the richest country in the world, but go somewhere at night and see they throw all the food away. But let me get out of here. Part two special is get back in touch with me. Here it is. It's actually Saturday, August the 10th. Excuse me, August 11th. I'm a day behind, day up, whatever. It's about what time? 2 o'clock. To be continued. And I got to be careful in words because I don't want to be nobody's target. And I love this is based on the true story. Everybody, first president, like I said, hold up, God, the United States president, and well, first of all, the United States president and all those great presidents prior to him, and those who was number one, George Washington. Two, John Quincy Adams. Three, the list goes on. I think those who actually, I'm not, like I said, with the Indians and stuff like that. I think knowledge, the way they did it, however it is, I wasn't there. This is today. No matter whatever happened yesterday, at least you can have the courage and the nerve and say, thank you for your hard work and struggle to actually create something. And then you was together. You had an idea, you had a vision, and then you use God. You playing God first. You know what I'm saying? It's that God you can actually you can actually go anywhere he likes you to go if it's the right way. Good night. That don't come from Edward. But anyway, this is my real estate. Actually, my work is. I just came and just take it out. I might not even work because when you're on your clock, I mean when you're on the clock, it depends on what ideas God has in store for me. But I do know this: Upward Real Estate Investor LLC, and all you millionaires, billionaires. Actually, where you are right now, I'm not bragging on nothing. Period. I should be where you are because, like in life, you can get hit with a storm, but this time I'm better, stronger, more mature, and on top of that, I forgive those my enemies for taking away. But that's a complaint. It sounds like a complaint. I'm very thankful for the Boston Fire Department and all its members for actually helping Edward, and I really mean that genuinely because if you wouldn't have done what you've done to Edward, I would never ever be in who I am today. So thank you very much. And I rest. First of all, thank you for the city of Boston, Orchard Park when it was Orchard Park, Orchard Estate, Boston Common. Just say all the great. See, when you grow up in a great city, that's what I'm trying to do. Boston too, Boston, Massachusetts, the city of champions. When you grow up with greatness, sometimes the product from greatness create greatness. What I mean, Bill Russell, 11 rings in 13 years. See, I come from the city of, and what lies right across the river? Harvard. Did I say earlier I got accepted at Harvard? Well, yeah, based on a true story. Um, and that's the reason behind everything. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. It's almost like with stories all about Job where they take everything and then God rewards them back abundance. Sometimes you might not understand, but I'm going to say this. I forgive each and every last people or persons that actually try to kill me or sabotage me, take away. I'm talking about decades of income. But you know what? Manipulate. You know, a lie can never withstand truth. It might have taken years to get back up. Well, I always been up anyway, because you never can take away something that God gives. That's how, I can be the shortest guy, but I don't have to do what you did to me. I can actually grow because that's what all I was doing anyway. See, you don't want nobody that actually is different. I can't be nobody's clone. And yet, remember, I wanted to retire in the fire service when I was like 30. I didn't want to do it because I knew how crooked, or I'm telling the truth, was different it was. And most time they're not really fighting fires. They're creating fires within themselves. I remember there ain't nothing that can teach you like experience. And I got tired of all the complaints. It's not, it's too meaningless. But to any kind of story, there's two sides. So other than that, I'll rest my thought on something that I didn't have no control over. And on top of that, it allowed me to take care of my family. Whatever goes on in any kind of organization, police department, and you got a family, fire department, people got to do what they got to do. We all know right, we all know wrong. Sometimes standing up for what is right, even though it's right, is viewed as wrong because most people want to do wrong anyway, so they can get away with it. But let me get out of here. Peace.